Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Red Readyman. In this episode we're going to be taking a dive into the Premier Cup Ultra League. It is not my preferred meta. I think I do prefer the Ultra Cup, the Ultra League over the Premier Cup because the meta is a little bit more defined. There's a little bit more movement in here and there's some better players in this one as well. But this team has been doing pretty well for me and I really wanted to showcase. I think that the most valuable Pokemon, the MVP here is definitely Gallade, but Swampert, wow, this Pokemon does some work. So let's get into these battles and let's see what we've got. So into the Premier Cup, leading with Gallade, and what are we going to come up against first of all? So we're up against Tambassi. And let's see what they bring. So Clefable, this is a fairly favourable matchup. If I'm going to see it, this is probably the time to see it. I can deal with Charm okay, but I'm going to come out and I'm going to go into Swampert just to be a little bit more aggressive here. Now this is a little bit spicy seeing a Blastoise, and I'm just going to go straight Earthquake because I'm fairly sure they won't know where I'm up to, which does a good chunk of damage. So considering they've swapped in, I'm doing quite well here, so I think this is time to shield up. I'm going to go up to the Earthquake, and then I'm going to truck the Hydro Pump here. So almost kind of feigning that more stronger attack, which gets the shield from them and allows me to get to this Hydro Cannon quickly, which at this range should take the opponent fairly close. So let's see how much this takes them down. Takes them out, which is great. So in they come again. This is the original matchup. And I know I can deal with this with Gallade and with Togekiss. I have plenty of coverage to take it out, but like the spammy moves of Swampert and the Hydro Cannon allows me to get off a quick attack. So they come into Dragonite. I got them always there. Like I'm literally just coming out to save the Togekiss to clean up afterwards. So they concede and GG's to my opponent there. So going into the second game. Let's see what we get here. So a fairly favourable lead so far, and Gallade is a strong Pokemon, if not a little glassy. The confusion damage is pretty immense, but this is not a great matchup. So we've gone for a fairly bad lead here. I think I'm going to shield here. Yes, I am, and I'm going to dive out because the Night Slashes are really going to mount up here. But I'm going to get to a close combat first, just to see whether they take the bait. And then dive out of here. So let's see what they do, and it wipes them out. I am looking to change very quickly here and change into the Togekiss. I don't want the Swampert seeing this, and the Gallade is debuffed, and I don't want it to stay in there. It would have, but now the debuff is cleared. They are farming me down, unfortunately, but I get to this Ancient Power. Let's see whether they want to shield here. If they've been counting, they'll know not to shield this, but they haven't. So I get a shield from them, and they're throwing energy. This is perfect, absolutely perfect, because I'm in the position here to come in with Gallade and just clean up. Like, look at this damage. Like, this confusion is absolutely obliterating this Venusaur. I am going to shield up here because I have some stored energy here, and I was guessing it was going to be a Sludge Bomb. But for their last Pokemon, what comes in here? Well, something that is weak to grass, which is fantastic. They're going to have to shield one of them up at some point, get to another Leaf Blade here. So this, I mean, if they want to survive, it is over at this point. My opponent is in a corner. But the Gallade still chunks away, takes them into the red. So going to come in here with the Swampert. The Crunch, if it's Crunch, will do a lot of damage. If it's Aqua Tail, it will do very little. And this is just GG's. So we put them out of their misery as quickly as we possibly can and clear them out of the way, and that is another GG. So from an unfavourable lead, I managed to switch that round to coming out with two Pokemon with quite a bit of health. Gallade is a strong Pokemon. Even when you lose lead, it can come in and clear up afterwards. I think my opponent also made a few mistakes during that game too, so it didn't made it a little bit easier for me. So Lapras, this is not an unfavourable position to be in. Lapras is very bulky and very strong and very spammy, but the Leaf Blades, if they connect, will do quite a bit of damage and will definitely put pressure on shields. but they let it go through, and I take them into yellow. So I think I am going to shield up here because I'm expecting an ice beam, but it's actually only a surf. Still would have done a lot of damage, but they come out to another spice pick. I'm like, what do I do here? I'm going to let this come through. Try attack is going to do a lot of damage. So I'm going to go for the close combat, purely because it's harder hitting and I'm nearly out here. If this goes through, this will clear them out. So we're still okay here. We've got the Lapras in the back, which if we can't quite get to the Leaf Blades. That's unfortunate, but we've got 2 healthy Pokemon and a shield. So let's go with the Togekiss and try and charm them down. Yeah, this is going to be another Surf, which will do some. Oh, it's an Ice Beam, which will do even more damage. So good shield there. Played that quite smartly. My opponent has 2 shields and 1 Pokemon, and what do they have? They have Gothita. So I'm going to go for the Ancient Power here to try and start getting their shields. They're going to want to start using them because there's not going to be a flurry of charge attacks. I'm a little worried here they're going to farm me down, but they chuck the energy, which is fantastic. And this is what I want them to do. So Swampert can come in, and it's going to be close, but if I can get to the Hydro Cannons, 2 Hydro Cannons before they get to whatever charge move they're using, because I'm not sure of the Gothita's charge moves. Like, this is so spicy. And there was me at the start saying that the Ultra League, the Premier Cup is varied. It really is. But I can get to this Hydro Cannon. This should KO at this range. And they are now shieldless, which is great. And we managed to take the win with a tiny bit of health left. So GG's to my opponent there. Well done to them. That was a fun battle. And fun to see those Pokemon. To see Porygon Z was a little bit of a shock, and not the smartest move by them. I think if that Porygon Z wasn't there, they may have come out of that matchup a little bit better. So starting to see more Electabuzz. This is not an unfavourable matchup, but I do have to be careful, and I do have to shield up. But I am gonna shield, which is smart. They're Wild Charge. They're gonna duck out of there now. I'm just gonna chuck a blind Leaf Blade. Probably not the smartest move. I tend to do a lot of that, but I'm going to go straight into Swampert. Now, if I can get back-to-back Hydro Cannons here before they get to a charge move, I'm going to clear 2 shields or do significant damage to their Pokemon. I'm definitely going to get a lead here on them, so that does a lot of damage. Another Hydro Cannon before they get to their charge move. They are going to shield this up, I would imagine, at this point. And no, they're going to let it go. So the Electabuzz, this is, if I can get this Hydro Cannon, this will do quite a bit of damage. I'm over farming, trying to go into the matchup with a little bit of energy, because it's obviously weak to Swampert. They are shielding. I get another Hydro Cannon. Now at this point, I should shield, but I decide to let it go, and I can still get the Hydro Cannon off. So it's kind of a win. If I had shielded, I would be a shield down going into the last Pokemon, and I wouldn't have been able to take their last shield. Now, I'm expecting a Wild Charge, so I'm thinking Gallade is probably the best play here, and shield it up. They're going to weaken their defences with this Wild Charge, and I'm just going to take them down here. Charizard is going to get munched here. If I can get to this close combat, they are shieldless. This will do around about 50% damage to them. And they're nearly out there, as you can see. I'm trying to sack swap there because I just want to come in and confusion down, but I don't. But they Dragon Claw me, which is just enough to take me out, but in comes the Togekiss to mop up. So GG's to my opponent there, well done to them. That's a very good game. So going into the next match, this team is quite strong. It's pulling its weight. So let's see what we have here. What are we going to get? Are we going to get another good lead? Because we have been very fortunate with our leads. This is not a terrible lead at all. Confusion will do quite a bit of damage, but I think I'm going to go here. I think I'm going to have to shield here. Yeah, I am shielding. The Thunder Punch will do neutral damage, and unfortunately I swap, so I'm going to go straight for a close combat because I thought this would do a lot of damage. And actually on the Muck it doesn't do as much as I was expecting. So I'm going to swap out and go into the Swampert. Swampert is a good counter for Muck. Not a Galarian either, it's an Alolan, which is unusual to see. But we shield that up just in case. So we are shieldless now, but they have also used the shield. And the damage of the Mud Shot is really kind of mounting up here. Managed to farm them all the way down. See, a very healthy Pokemon here. So I'm just going to throw the Earthquake. I'm not sure the Hydro Cannon isn't going to do a lot, but the Earthquake is. So now I'm just going to go for the Hydro Cannon, but I don't manage to hit it in time. Now I'm hoping I haven't pressed this, because if I do survive this drill run, which I do, okay, I had pressed, so I had to make a call there and let that go through. But there we go, we're coming back in here. Now if I can get to this Hydro Cannon, this will do significant damage. Or pressure shields. Have they used all of their shields? No, so it's pressure and shields, which is great. I'm going to try and get to another Hydro Cannon, but don't quite manage it. They have a lot of energy loaded up here. So I'm going to come in with the Togekiss, almost as a sacrificial, just to soak up this energy that they have. And they come in with Dragon Pulse, which is just the most bizarre move ever. I managed to get the Leaf Blade off, which will KO. I think that was a misclick there from my opponent, because why would you come with the dragon move? But GG's to my opponent, well done there. So it's an interesting team. It went 5-0 and took me very, 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 very close to rank 9. I actually hit rank 9 today in my first set, which I lost 1 and 4. So I was literally 1 win away after these battles, but I have been playing around with teams a little bit. Now I'm at rank 9, I'm thinking I might have to try and be a little bit more consistent with my picks and try and be a little bit more consistent with what I'm doing. But it was a fun team and I've really enjoyed it, but I think I'm going to get myself back to Ultra League. But what are you still doing here? Let's go Pogo.